Hello, friends. It's the grumpy old man broadcasting from Studio B of WDWL TV, a division of Grumpy Vulture Productions, located on Grumpy Vulture Boulevard. And if that vulture gets one more prop, I'm going to strangle him. All right. Get comfortable here. With that out of the way, as it says in the title, are cell phones a form of life support? They must be. Because everywhere you go, everyone's got a cell phone stuck in their ear. Perfect example. I was just up at the store. 90%, and I'm not exaggerating here, 90% of the people in that store had a cell phone up to their ear. Now, I don't know if there's a certain app on the phone that basically says this phone is now life support. If removed from your ear, you will end up in the emergency room. And you know what is so ignorant? When people are at the cash register checking out, they're still on that damn phone. And the cashier is trying to converse. And they've got the damn phone stuck in their ear. Can't you halt that call long enough to be polite? And is that call that goddamn important? You know, before cell phones, we came home and American, mainly, they had answering machines. And you would listen to the message. And then if you desired, you'd call the person back. Is every goddamn call nowadays that important that you can't even grocery shop without having a phone stuck in your fucking ear? Yes, I will admit, cell phones were one of the best inventions on earth. And when Steve Jobs came out with the iPhone, which was basically an enhanced smartphone. Matter of fact, it was an enhanced cell phone because the term smartphone hadn't even come into play yet. With the invention of the iPhone, the term smartphone started to be used because, as Steve Jobs put it, it's a smartphone. But you know, Apple and Samsung and Nokia and the rest of the phone makers did not invent these smartphones so that they're stuck in your fucking ear 24/7. Unless somebody is on their way to the emergency room, there is no call that's super important that you can't put that phone down and become a normal human being. You know, before smartphones, people they did their shopping and they accomplished what they wanted to do. But now it seems like no matter where you go, if you don't have that fucking phone stuck in your ear, you can't survive. And yeah, maybe I'm one to talk. Because I had one of the first cell phones that was sold to the public. The Motorola Brick. And it's a brick. Believe me, this phone weighs about 4 pounds. It's a brick. And look at the screen. There was no such thing as texting. These phones didn't take pictures. These phones didn't even have voicemail. And yes, I had one. Cost me $1,200. And that was back in the 80s. People, and even I bitch about the price of cell phones and like iPhones, iPads, over $1,000. My dumbass paid $1,200 for this. And I was lucky if I could talk across the street. But it was a status symbol. I had to have a status symbol. And before this, I had car phone. And car phones back in the day weren't like the car phones like most people know. Like with when we had the bag phones. Car phones back in the day had to be connected through a mobile operator. You picked up the phone in your car, and it looked like a regular telephone. I've got a couple of CVs that are similar to what car phones look like. One day I'll dig it out and I'll show you. But you picked up the receiver, was a regular telephone receiver, and you connected with a mobile operator who then dialed your call and then connected you. You couldn't. Car phones back in the day weren't like they are today. Of course, you don't have car phones. Car phones went out with the smartphones. A mobile phone back in the day connected through an operator. And she dialed the call, and as soon as it started to ring, she would connect you and get out of the call to make it private. And then you would carry on your conversation and hang up like you were hanging up your phone at home. But the receiver, and the rental. And we're talking back in the late 70s, because I had to have that status. was $150 a month, and calls were $1 a minute. So you didn't bullshit like people don't. You made your call, you hung up. So yeah, I'm not one to be talking about phones. But you know, when I'm driving or I'm in a store shopping, if my phone rings, it stays in my pocket until I get done with what I need to do and get back in the car, and then I look to see who called and I call them back. I used to have all kinds of Bluetooth headsets so that I could talk and drive. Not anymore. If my phone rings while I am driving, it gets ignored. That call can wait. But no, I've seen people pull in a parking lot. They're on their phone. They go into a store, they do their shopping, back out to their car, and never get off the phone. Calls are not that important. What are you talking about? It sure can't be an emergency every time you get on the goddamn phone. And then these phones that have apps that connect to your appliances. There was a woman one day, I couldn't believe it. She was looking at her phone, scanning the inside of her refrigerator to make sure that she didn't forget anything on her grocery list. And when I asked her about it, she says, "Oh, I not only can look inside my refrigerator, I can turn my dishwasher on and off. I can turn my washer on and off. I can turn my dryer on and off. And I can turn my oven on and off." My jaw dropped. You can turn your oven on and off from your phone. She could turn every appliance in her house on and off through her phone. What is this world coming to? And they advertise these refrigerators on TV. And I've seen refrigerators that have monitors built into the door. You can watch TV on your refrigerator. I made the comment to the cashier that was checking me out at the store. I said, right now, if every cell phone tower in America went down, I said there would be miles-long lines at the emergency rooms of people in shock. holding their phone, shaking. I can't talk. I can't talk. I can't talk. And I made it as a joke, but I believe that shit would happen. People would have anxiety attacks, holding their phone to their head, going, I don't hear anything. I don't hear anything. My phone, quick, clear. They'd be in my phone. I can't survive my phone. I believe that would happen. We have these take your kid to school day, take your kid to your job day. We have ride your bike to work day. I think just for once, we should have a 24-hour, don't even touch your phone day, and see what would happen. Go 24 hours without even touching this. People would think their arms fell off. They'd have the phone sitting on the table and looking at the clock. Okay, 15 minutes, 14 minutes, 13 minutes, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Somebody answer, please. Somebody answer, please. Please, somebody answer. I have said many times, these are the best and the worst inventions on earth. I can guarantee you, when Steve Jobs came out with the first iPhone, he never intended phones to be like they are today. I read his autobiography, all 600 pages. And Steve Jobs never talked on the phone in his car. Never. The inventor of the iPhone never talked on his phone in his car. Now, if the inventor of the iPhone was like that, I think everyone should be like that. And with that, I will talk at you tomorrow. And number 30, just like Jimmy Durante used to say, Mrs. Calabash, good night, wherever you are. Well, that's the way I am going to sign off. Number 30, good night, wherever you are.